Welcome to my poster presentation by Brad Clark. Today we'll be discussing, as you can see behind me, Chris Sara. Chris Sara was of Aboriginal and Italian descent, and in Queensland and around Australia has become a very prominent, well-liked, well-respected Indigenous person. Today I'll be talking about what Chris has achieved in education environment, as well as some other achievements, and giving you a little bit of background on Chris and some of the principles and policies he has. So first of all, what did this person contribute to an educational thinking or practices? Well, he helped change the way that many Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islanders had as a reputation of being illiterate, not being well or proper educated. So Chris implemented some programs, starting with the Smarter, Stronger Institute, which aimed to help the Indigenous communities around Australia become, let's say, entitled to an education just like everyone else in Australia. So he implemented that program. He also implemented a program to help Indigenous students read and write, and offered incentives for students to turn up to school. So in the first year of the program, it actually increased Indigenous rates of attendance by 94%. At the end of it, it's about engaging with the students and having mutual respect between the teacher and the student. So he offered ice bricks or ice blocks for the Aboriginal community to turn up from the canteen, and this increased it by 94%. He also has another program which he introduced as a school and community leader. Now, this one, his beliefs were, I'm hoping that it will change their thinking and challenge their beliefs about what Aboriginal children can achieve in the classroom. So basically, like what I said, break the stereotype, break the mold, get a proper education, and fulfill their full potential. An Aboriginal Studies program was also an integral to the curriculum from preschool to Year 7 studies, with studies focusing on the local area and occupying 2 hours per week. So he made some practical changes to this program, and also said to the Dare to Lead program he has, the key improvements of the Indigenous students' literacy rates at Year 5 by a whopping 10% over the course of the project, and in Year 12 completion, it went up to 10, went up by 10%. So that is a very high number. So he's really engaging with these programs to get the Indigenous and Aboriginal communities involved and giving them a better head start in life. Now, why is this person significant to you as a future teacher? I believe that no matter what area of Australia you live in, you should be entitled to a proper education. So in my local community, I'd like to go out and work with the Indigenous and Aboriginal students, and I'd like to use some of Chris's programs to implement there to help them with their literature and reading rates. So that'd be a really good thing, and that is really something I can aspire to. Now, in what ways is their work relevant to educator in Australia today or education? This is massive for Aboriginal and Indigenous students in the Torres Strait Islanders. With Chris's programs, you've seen them improve dramatically in the classroom, and you see some teachers, even in the school classroom in primary school, you see that the results with one-on-one work within this community and within this race, you can see that it's improved. Now, as that's just some basic background on Chris, and I highly recommend that everyone get on there and do a Google on Chris and get some of his strategies so we can include everyone in our classroom. As Education Australia, we want it all to be inclusive, regardless of race, socio-economic background, or profile. So yes, Chris's work is very important. Thanks for listening. Bye.